Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is City of Heroes on the private server Everlasting with Silver Phoenix, our martial arts scrapper. We are approaching 10 million experience, at which point we are going to hit level 41. We're about halfway between 40 and 41, and we're starting to do our next set of contacts. So the first one I've chosen is Indigo. I don't know exactly who she's going to eventually give us a story arc for, but I want to point out there is a badge. Exploration badge right here. Speaking of badges, I have gotten a bunch of badges recently. Um, I have gotten a whole bunch of Explorer badges, and they have come with some, what is it, achievements or accolades? I guess it's accolades. I don't remember that. There's, here we go. The PPD Informant, which is for Kings Row, Canyon Carver, which is for Steel Canyon, and Sky Gazer, which is for Skyway City and Paris Park Perfection. So I've gotten all the Explorer badges and clicked on all the history plaques in those zones. Now I haven't had any history plaque badges because the history plaque storylines span different zones. So you'd have to, there may be some plaques in this zone that will finish the story from those other zones. And I just haven't done all the zones yet. So we're with Indigo, who is here. And she says she doesn't like being this exposed, but it's time for a confrontation with the Malta. So now we're going to be starting to work on the Malta, I guess. She says, I've been watching you, Silver Phoenix. You don't know it. But I've already had you rescue me twice, just to see if you were as capable as I've heard. I think you can help us. I'm Indigo, not Miss Indigo or Indigo Smith or anything, just Indigo. And I can help you to fight some very bad people. If we both want to stay safe, that's all you'll ever know about me. I'm not trying to be a woman of mystery or anything. I'm just playing things safe. Now, like I said, I can help you fight some very bad people. However, I may ask you to do some things without knowing why. I'm sorry about that, but that's kind of for both our safety. Now, I'll never ask you to do anything bad or hurt anyone who doesn't deserve it, but I may not be able to tell you how or why I know what I know. If you can work with that, and if you're willing to trust the person who vouched for me, and if you want to put a hurt on some really bad people, let's get started. I'll have to warn you, this first mission could turn out bad. In fact, it could turn out to be a failure. So we select the mission, and she says, I'm glad you decided to help. We have a lot to do. Now, I'm sure you know about the Cray. Really bad people, right? Well, Cray's been in a lot of trouble, and that's what this is about. I'm going to give you the location of a place where a bunch of Cray people are talking to a bunch of other people. I can't tell you why they're talking, or what they're planning, but I can assure you it isn't good. You need to take out those other people, and the negotiator who's talking to them, Dr. Voight. Oh, and there will also be evidence you may want to keep them from destroying. And by want, I mean need. I'm sure you'll be able to handle it. So, now we're going to be fighting at least the Cray and possibly Malta, if that's what she's going to be giving us is Malta missions. We may be starting with them. Now, Malta can be very difficult. They're one of the sort of end game type villain mobs, along with the Carnival of Shadows. And the Malta are dangerous because they have minions, I think, called Sappers, and Sappers will drain your endurance. Now, we do have the advantage that we have 30 some odd % defense. So if the Sappers try to drain my endurance, they're going to have to hit me first. So being a defense-based scrapper or tanker helps you a lot against enemies that do things like secondary effects, because the secondary effects only work when they hit. So we are going, I feel like I just got a little bit of lag there, but okay, we're going to head over to this meeting and see what there is to see. So we're moving along. We've got a bunch of patrol XP because I haven't been logged in that much, except to do in the last few days, except to do the Explorer badges. I decided it was time to get some of those zones done, and I'm going to be doing more of them. I don't record those because they're quite tedious. I would think they're quite tedious to watch. I don't mind doing them. I actually kind of like it. I like reading the little blurbs about each badge. but it takes a really long time, and I have a hard time imagining somebody would want to sit here and watch 30 minutes of me just jumping around a zone, clicking on history plaques. Alright, so here we go. We are entering this mission to defeat Dr. Voight and his visitors. Now, this mission is set on +1, so we have to fix that. Let's put it back. I don't know if we want to go to +3. Let's go back to +2. Now, hopefully that will work in this mission. We may have to wait one more mission for it to bump back up. We'll try these guys at +2. If they're too easy, we'll move it up to +3. And some of them are +3 anyway. That's really interesting. Alright, so it's a +2 mission, so I don't know, but here we go. Yeah, that's weird. Why? Yeah, no, so +3. So +1 is yellow, +2, yeah, okay, so that's why they're red. So this is what we would be facing in a +3 mission. The problem is, this is what keeps bothering me, if I set it on +3, we could be facing +4s. And I'm not really keen on fighting purples. If we're going to get +3s anyway in the +2 missions, then I'm fine with that. I don't know, do we need to pull these guys out? It's just minions. I know they're red, but we should be alright. So I'm going to go ahead and jump on in. We can still take them out in 2 shots with Focus G. Focus G helps an awful lot. You can see why if somebody could perma that. Who's talking? Okay, it's not Dr. So-and-so, Dr. Voight. This makes me think of Jon Voight, the actor. And that Seinfeld episode where George Costanza thought he was driving Jon Voight's car. Wow, they're hitting me a lot. That's what happens when you fight reds. That person just did Eagle's Claw to me. Wow. Alright. Go ahead and use that, because we don't really need it. And we'll move on to the next. So there's a clue, it looks like. We need to find 2 pieces of evidence. These guys are +2, that's what they should be. And they're going to probably try to destroy the evidence. But they're not going to have any chance to do that. So I saved 1 piece of evidence. And there's nothing else here. And I'm guessing they're not going to do an ambush because it says I already saved. It said to save 2 pieces of evidence, and I saved 1, and it immediately changed. So I'm guessing there won't be an ambush down there to blow it up. Otherwise, we may fail. Alright. Oh, wow. A purple lieutenant. That is going to be rough. Alright, so we might want to pop one of these. Basically what that luck is doing is counteracting the level-based bonus that he has. That's, you know, in other words, the base chance a lieutenant has to hit you is like 57%, but being +3, he's got like, I don't know, 67%. So the 12% buff of the luck just brings him back to a normal lieutenant for us. Some salvage. No enhancements again. Yeah, I'm not getting many enhancements lately. Alright, we're gonna need to pull these guys because I don't want to get caught with that other guy. So we'll pull him back. Because there's another purple in there. The boss didn't come, or the lieutenant didn't come. I'm surprised. So let's go ahead and taunt him. You can see how useful Taunt is as a power. For Scrappers, it helps you do a single pull. It's a great power to have. Very useful. Right, obviously it's situational, you're not going to use it all the time. We're getting tons of experience for these guys, too. And we'll taunt this guy out, because I don't know what else is in the room, but let's see. Yep, and we got him again without the lieutenant. Warrior's Challenge tends to do that, which is great. back. Okay. See if we can knock him over. Yeah, we're doing okay against +3s, but these guys are in a +2 mission, which means if this was a +3 mission, these guys would be +4s. And that might be a bit much. Is that a patrol? Looks like it might be. Okay, there's nobody here. Let's taunt these guys over. I do not want the tank in the other room to aggro to me while I'm fighting these guys. Alright, so we should be alright. By the other room, I mean this room. Should be alright in here. The one nice thing about fighting +3s is it does force me to at least think about, you know, like where the mobs are and stuff, whereas if they're +1s or something, I would just run in here and start punching them, kicking them. Let's see if we can crit. There we go. You can see how much less damage. Let's look at Thunder Kick, 53 damage, right? Base 95, so it's basically doing 50% damage, and much of that is just the level buff. Right, you hit less often, you do less damage. Right, so between hitting less often and doing less damage, you're doing like something like 60% less damage to them, 70% less. It makes it take much longer to take them out. And that increases the difficulty, of course, because it gives them more swings at us. Okay, so there's an elevator here, but first, we're going to do this room. We're still looking for the last piece of evidence. And there it is. And there's a Malta Sapper. Alright, we're going to pull these guys out first. I'm keeping an eye on those guys to make sure they don't attack that little piece of evidence there. Look how much easier it is to take an orange, right? And you'll see this tank goes down so much faster. Alright. So I'm gonna run in and knock over, and then Sapper is target number 1. I do not want my endurance drain. There we go. And then this guy. Missed him. Yeah, so that blue gun is the endurance drainer. So we have completed the evidence part of the mission. We've stopped the Malta from destroying evidence. And now, we gotta find Dr. Voigt. Alright. Is that him? That's him. Alright, so I'm going to pull out because I don't want to aggro him too, since he's a purple boss. Alright, let's see. Who else is around? Voigt is a boss. Oh, so there's double bosses. A Malta and a Cray. Let's sweep the rest of the room first. We want to make sure no one else can get involved in this fight. And then I will put on Elude. Now the only problem with Elude is, against purple bosses, I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat them both before the Elude runs out. And that could lead to me having to run away. We'll see. Okay, these two. He's too dangerous. I can't chase him. I'm gonna have to bring him back to me. Come on up. Yeah, I just don't want to get that close to the bosses. I'm gonna go ahead and use that because I don't need that much endurance. Alright, now we're gonna go back up to stay away from, whoops, to stay away from the bosses. And see if there's somebody over here, because often there is. Doesn't look like it, so it looks like it's just me against these two. Alright guys, here we go. Start with this one. Maul the guy. Alright, knock them both over, that's what we want. You can see how much damage they do when they hit us, and how much it takes to take out a purple boss. Right, I would not want these guys to be another level higher. Come on. Alright, we got one. So we should be able to take the other one out with no problem before the elude drops everything on us. If you wonder why I paused, I saw the practice brawler was about to redo, and I did not want it. So what happens is, and you may have seen this a few times, if you click on something and then click on something else before that one executes, it will cancel. So I'll show you, like, click on Eagle's Claw, while it's animating I click this and then this, it replaces what I kicked with the second one, right? And so if Practice Brawler tries to execute and you keep clicking your attacks too fast for it to execute, then it won't happen, and then you won't get your Mez protection. So when I saw that it was about to trigger, I paused just to make sure that we had our Practice Brawler going against these guys. So we did pretty well. One of the things I want to look at is, let's see what their... Dr. Voigt missed us. He had a 7% chance to hit, so by doing this against level plus 2 bosses, we have them essentially floored. Flooring is 5%, but 7% is so close it wouldn't be worth doing things like adding extra luck. Now, we can head on out of the mission, and we're in Talos Island, right, so we don't have to worry about keeping our toggles up. If I was in something like Peregrine Island, I would wait inside the mission for my toggles to drop and for the elude crash. But since we're in Talos Island and nobody here can hurt us because we're like 10 levels above the highest. Oh, this is not good. We might have the endurance crash in the middle of this ambush. I'm not going to put the toggles back on. We don't need them, and when the endurance drops, I don't want them to be... I want to be able to re-engage them immediately, so I'll just wait. It's still up, so we have a little bit of time. I would love to like have a little timer on this thing, or if it would start flashing more than 10 seconds, but it's about to drop. So there goes our endurance. And now we cannot recover for a little while. But we can run. And nobody here in this, as I was going to say, nobody in this zone can hurt us, right? Because these guys are 18 levels below me. They can't do anything to me. So we can start going. And then once our endurance starts ticking up, we can put Super Jump on. And now we're going to take the evidence to Crimson, who is in Peregrine Island. So we got to find the Peregrine Island ferry, which is right there. There we are. Put our toggles back on. 1, 2, 3. And we head to Peregrine Island. So now this mission is probably a way to get you to Peregrine Island. I've been here before because I was doing some group missions. So we're now on Peregrine Island, and we have to get to Crimson, who is a superhero in this zone. and is right there. And I think there might be another Explorer badge under this statue, but I'm not sure. Guess not. I thought there was one around here somewhere. Or a history plaque, but doesn't look like it. Alright, let's talk to Crimson. Hello, Crimson. And he says, hello, Silver Phoenix. Call me Crimson. Not Agent Crimson, or Mr. Crimson, just Crimson. So we have Indigo, now Crimson. Indigo told me to expect you. She thinks you'll be able to handle a lot of the things that are outside of our own ability. Me, I'm not so sure, but I'm willing to trust her. You'll be working with Indigo for now. Maybe you'll be working with me later. So this guy will be a contact later on, perhaps. You know, there is something you can do for me right now. We have mutual friends who have just become much more aware of you. I need you to hold their attention for a little while, and I have just the job to do it. Our mutual friends are about to make a man disappear permanently. I can't tell you why, but let's just say he could have a very interesting story to tell Congress one day. Oh, and thank you, Silver Phoenix. I'll take that evidence. Don't you worry. It'll go where it needs to go. So now I have to stop an assassination, but I think I'm going to stop right here, guys. Gosh, I still didn't get any enhancements. I think I'm going to stop right here, and I'll head to Independence Port, and I'll bring you guys back when we're there. And I'll see you next time on City of Heroes.